Hey now, I'm Whit. Welcome back to the channel. Inside this box is what I think will be a cool, it's definitely crazy unique watch from Nubeo. This is a collaboration for the 45th anniversary of Space Invaders. Man, I dumped a lot of quarters into that machine. How about you? Let's check it out. Upside down. Oh, cool. Glow in the dark. Gonna be some cool loom on this one. Wow. First peel. Shiny. That's interesting. No, let's get it off of there. All right, ready for the reveal? Let's do it. Oh, man. Look at all the colors on that thing. Big old double dome crystal. So we're getting all kinds of reflections. You can definitely see that blue AR coating immediately as well. Wow, there is so much detail going on here. Man, let me get this other wrap off of here. Okay, this is one sharp looking piece. I mean, if you were into Space Invaders like I was, man, this is probably one that you want to pick up because this is a pretty funky piece, but definitely pays homage to that game that we played for hours and hours on end. I mean, it wasn't until Galaxian, or later known as Galaga, came along that I steered away from Space Invaders. But man, Space Invaders is the OG video game for sure. And this has got a lot of representation here. As clear as that crystal is, there's a protector on there. I didn't even see it. So, man, now it's even more crisp. Woo! So these come in 5 different colors. This just was the one that I was attracted to, but only 125 pieces in each color. Again, this one just kind of spoke to me. I love this hyper green strap. So first things first, you're probably wondering, well, how do you tell the time on this thing? It's definitely not a quick glance, is it? See this box here with the red arrow? That is your hour hand, so it's pointing to 7. And then here, this red tip is your minutes. So this minute disc spins around, as does, this is the second hand. So I guess there's no real way to tell the seconds. Maybe the head here is the pointer, essentially. If it's straight up and down, that would be, what would you think would be up here at 0. So, yeah, who knows? It just looks damn cool. I mean, hey, can you tell the time? Yes. But this is definitely a conversational piece and a lot to look at as this sits on your wrist. While we're in tight, let me show you the finishing. It looks to be pretty damn nice. It's a little varied, but that's nice. Linear brushing on the top side, and then on the sides of the lugs, what we see, you got a little polished chamfer there and polished fixed bezel. You've got a blue color that pops up from the top side and the mid case. And then you see vertical brushing on that little section of mid case as well. And a chamfer down here near the strap. And then on the other side, you've got a bit of black IP coating on the stainless steel for the crown guards. And a nice size crown that's signed. Looks like some easy to grab knurling there as well. Like I mentioned, a double dome crystal. This is just mineral glass. I'm sure they probably went with mineral over sapphire for the purpose of being a little more shatterproof, as my guess, but I guess you could have gone either way, because you could argue that sapphire would have given you some better scratch resistance on a crystal that's going to stick up like that, but I guess you could argue both sides. It does have anti-reflective coating, and I believe it's sapphire coated as well, so maybe that helps with the scratches a little bit. I think that could also be debated. And taking a look at the case back, you can see it's got a mineral glass crystal there for the display, so you can see that automatic movement. And you've got some script around the case back as well. Water resistance 50 meters. This is a push-pull crown and screw-down case back. Then you've got limited edition and my number 31 of 125. Stainless steel. And then the reference number NB6099. Automatic. And then the Space Invaders manufacturer, you see copyright 1978 and 2024. And while we're back here, we see that that is definitely an integrated bracelet for this silicone strap. This is got a very nice feel to it. Definitely not FKM, but it's got that silky silicone feel to it. There are two keepers, one floating and the other one held in position by the nubs here on the side. It looks like the buckle is not quite the quality stainless steel as the case. I can see already a little dig there, but it looks decent. Stainless steel noted on the backside, but it feels good, and I love that curvature that is matched with the case shape. And while we're back here still, let's talk about the movement. This is the NH35A from Seiko. Beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, 24 joules. It's got hacking, automatic, and hand winding, and that quick set date, about a 41-hour power reserve. A stated accuracy of -20 to +40 seconds per day. And for a non-official check on the time grafter, after just one pass through and one position dial up, you see it coming in at +9 seconds per day, amplitude of 294 degrees, and a little bit of a beat air at 0.3 milliseconds. Well, let's look at this dial close up a little more, and then I'll give you a loom shot and try the watch on as well so you can see what it looks like on my wrist. But man, this is just my favorite color of the ones that are offered. And now you might not like the translucent date wheel, and if you don't, you can. There's other colors where that is solid, and you would just see the date through the window down there, and that gives you the ability to read the script that is around the top of that date wheel as well. Yeah, so if for some reason you don't like this look, just know that there are other variations of this dial. It changes. It's kind of hard to spot all the changes in them, but they're all definitely very colorful. So for instance, with the legibility on this one, here it says WR 50 meters, so water resistant 50 meters, Nubeo, and then we've got automatic, and then down here limited edition. And let's see what the handset looks like if you wind it. Yes. So that is your minute hand circling around. Instead of a hand, you've got a fixed disc. That is pretty cool. And look how bold the date gets with just one numeral. That's a lot more legible. But yeah, that hour hand is the only thing that gets me. Like, where is it at right now? I lost it. Okay, it's up here. See, so when it gets behind these four, crossbars, I think that's probably the most difficult spot to find it at. And I'm sure you'll get used to it. Just seeing that red and seeing that box, it kind of gives you a little hint as to where it's at. But boy, it was hiding there, wasn't it? And those crossbars are definitely unique. You can see that center circle is a actual hole. So it goes all the way through there. You see the dynamics here. Just very 3D. And some of this is just kind of hard to capture on video, but in person you can really get a grasp of that. Love those crystal distortions just on the very section closest to the bezel. Otherwise, that double dome gives you a clear view of that center section that we were checking out just now. There are three layers to this dial, essentially. That outer section that's got the numbered markers on it. Then it steps down to a chapter ring, if you will. And then that next layer down is that translucent wheel. Man, so dynamic. Luminescence time, look at that. Oh, so many different colors. Definitely got that C3 you can see on the 6 o'clock marker. That shines the brightest, but look at that minute track. That's pretty cool, the minute wheel, I guess, if you will. Very cool seeing all the other colors on the dial. Japanese loom with these multiple colors, they're not going to be quite as bright as C3 as we see at that bottom 6 o'clock marker, but it's just cool how colorful they are, and they don't last as long either, but man, while it's all lit up, it's definitely a cool sight to see at night, right? That definitely reminds you of the video game, seeing those colors, bright on the screen. And it's pretty cool they loomed the logo on the box as well. Let me get you the measurements of this thing now. It's stated to be a 44 millimeter watch, so you know it's going to be pretty large, but it's kind of hard to get the measurements here. I think without including the crown guards here, I'm getting about 45 millimeters. So if I include those, a little bit over 46 millimeters. There's a lug-to-lug length of 48.5 millimeters, but of course it is a little longer than that because of the way this band sticks out. But it does have an immediate droop. I mean, you see that that slides in very quickly. A case thickness of 15.5 millimeters, but again, that includes that huge domed crystal. If I take that out of the mix, you're looking at probably about 11.6 millimeters. And your strap width at the lugs there is 26.7 millimeters, and it tapers down to about 20 millimeters at the clasp. And that crown is 6.5 millimeters in diameter. All right, I'll show you what it looks like on my wrist, but first, today I'm wearing the exact opposite of that watch. This is kind of a simple yet bold field watch from Towson Watch Company. This is the Cadet. Oh man, this thing is comfy. It just hugs your wrist. That curvature is excellent. Again, I've got an 8-inch wrist, so you know, it doesn't look very big on me. If you have a smaller wrist, I'm sure this is going to be still a watch with some presence, but I think you could probably be able to get away with it comfortably from that downturn. It is just got such this curve. I mean, this is comfy. You know, again, it helps that it's a nice, you know, soft, silky silicone strap, but man, that's got a good feel. It just wants to rest on your wrist naturally, and that looks good. Such a fun watch. So the OAO Space Invaders Limited Edition celebrates the 45th anniversary of Space Invaders, of course, 1978. There's been a few watches that Nubeo has come out with the Space Invaders theme, this being the most recent one, and I think the best looking in my opinion. So that's why you're seeing it here in 2024, is because they've been doing a few watches. But this is limited to 125 pieces in each color, and it comes in this Galaxy Green, which I really dig, Plasma Pink, Cosmic Blue, which has got a black IP case, Solar Yellow, and Invader Indigo, which has got a purple IP case. After discounts, these run about $500 US, so with free international shipping, and there is a 2-year warranty. Now, if you like the design of this watch, but you're not really into the Space Invaders theme, which I can't imagine you wouldn't be because you wouldn't have made it this far into the video, but there is an alternate version, just the standard OAO limited edition automatic, and you might want to take a look at that one as well. But this Space Invaders version is definitely hip and cool. I mean, this takes me back to the day, like I said, sticking many a quarter in the Space Invaders machines. How about you? Did you play this game for hours on end? This definitely takes me back. Leave me your comments down below, and if you like this video, hit that like button. Maybe check out this video next. I'll catch you there. I'm Wit with so many watches, so little time and money.